Yo, it's Tyrone. Welcome to the first Wicked and Bad podcast. You may see different episodes look a bit different because now the room's actually been changed. But on this podcast, what we're going to be doing is bringing you your favorite athletes, influencers, and, getting to know a few things about them. It's only right to start it with Bouncer. So what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yes, my bro. What's going on? You
Yes,
good?
all good, all good. How you been keeping?
Busy, bro. Busy with everything, innit? Me and you, Sunday smokes. It's taken over
on.
our week, innit? You got loads of other stuff to do. We have to manage to get a lot of content out.
Yeah, trust me. Let's take it to the start though. Let's talk about Wicked and Bad, obviously, the whole branding. How did it kind of start? How did it come around?
So Wicked and Bad, the branding, it started around the idea of obviously from going to visit Little Man and just creating slogans. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Little Man, your name's Aiden, we're gonna call you Little Man, Wicked and Bad. And first it was just like that sort of slogan. And then we thought, oh, do you know what? Let's make it actually a platform, Wicked and Bad platform, and just build from that. So the name Wicked and Bad has come from a slogan. We built it into like a platform, and obviously we've had Wicked and Bad 1, we've had Wicked and Bad 2. The first Wicked and Bad was with Little Man and Salim, and the second one was with me and Arms and Little Man and Dubu.
Yeah, I remember it's a hard name to pronounce. Let's stick to the first fight at first though. So I'm guessing the first one was a success.
Yeah.
That led on to the second one.
Yeah.
But like, what would you say kind of made it the success for you to continue to do another one, would you say?
The fact that we done a event during lockdown.
Yeah.
The marketing that we done, we didn't have big spends. We just marketed it around Instagram, and it went viral. Do you know what I mean? And the culture supported. Do you know what I mean? The people supported. We involved performances with live boxing, and it was like
it was different.
It was
I
very
remember
different.
seeing it.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
No one didn't think that I could pull off a dwarf fight because it's never really been done, and they think, wow, it was gonna be some gimmick, and really it was actually. Big up H Boxing that was actually training Little Man at the time. He turned him into a monster. Do you know what I mean? And the marketing around it, the press conference, obviously Albie, business partner, the production. We actually thought, do you know what? After the first one, we thought, do you know what? It was the most pay-per-viewed unlicensed boxing match.
Swear.
Going, yeah.
Mad. Can you talk figures? Or?
Yeah, we could talk figures. It was it done
in terms of viewers.
In terms of viewers, it done. You get me? Done something like 60,000 pay-per-views. Do you know what I mean? Like in viewers, and obviously like hundreds of thousands of people watched it afterwards.
Yeah.
So from that, the brand was.
It's actually millions now. Cause I think on YouTube.
Yeah.
I see there's a clip on YouTube. Also the full fight, and I'm pretty sure I saw like 5-6 million views.
Yeah. So. It's literally my thing is, cause a lot of people will have a brand and then all of a sudden release a clothing thing onto it. And my thing is like getting people to learn Wicked and Bad, Wicked and Bad, Wicked and Bad, Wicked and Bad. So when we do now have another event, energy drink, clothing brand, it does everything for itself.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It helps itself. It does everything for itself. So it's just literally, man.
So it represents kind of just more than one thing. It's kind of...
Yeah, but you build a brand that's bigger than, like, when you see the logo, people buy into the logo and they know what to expect. Do you know what I mean? Instead of, that's what the way how I see it is like, build the brand, and when you see a logo and they know that this logo's got something to do with this, they know, okay, this is what it's serious business.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously talking about the second fight, you actually fought on it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, was this difficult to promote as you was kind of having to be the promoter, train, all the marketing, the back end, like, because obviously it's only you and Albie that was obviously doing it. So like, was it a lot harder this time, or would you say it was kind of an easier experience?
It was hard to promote and train, and my thing was that I fought on the platform to build the platform, to make people get into more fighting.
So it wasn't actually by choice.
It wasn't by choice. Obviously, at the time, there was a little breakdown in me and Little Man's relationship.
Yeah.
So he walked away from the brand. He wanted to do his own thing.
So this was before it went public.
Before we went public.
Okay.
So and then with we having a brand and we have no one to fight on it, and we don't have crazy capital that we can throw crazy money for fighters. So I thought, you know what, let me try a marketing way and let me jeopardize myself and try to grow the platform. So I fought the biggest man in our culture.
Yeah.
So
and obviously there was a lot of risk to take with that.
There was a lot of risk to take because obviously I wanted it to be boxing, he wanted it to be MMA. Cool, whatever you want, whatever, do you know what I mean? I know the purpose of why I'm fighting him, and I know what I'm trying to do for the brand. In 5 to 10 years down the line, people will look back at this interview or look back and be like, he was really ahead of his time. He knew what, he saw his vision. And now that me and you are working and whatever we're building, everything's starting to fall into place, do you know what I mean? So actually marketing everything and putting on a show, it was a lot for me.
Is this something you can talk about publicly? Like, because some people don't understand how much it costs to put on one of these events. Some people think, oh, you just get an arena and it's a few quid and bang.
Yeah.
Is this something you like?
I could talk.
Like, so what would we say? So putting on an event where it says people can go to. How much are we talking? So
it's like for people to go to an event, putting on an event, you can look at something like £250,000, 300K. That's with some fighters' purse. That's with production. That's with health and safety.
Yeah.
That's with everything. So you can be looking at between 200 to 300K, depending on the scale of the.
And this is not even talking about like fighters' purses yet.
No, so sometimes that's within fighters' purses. So on its own, before any fighters' purse, I'll say we're looking at like, it could be 150, 175 just before fighters' purse. And this is my thing, because sometimes when we're independent, we haven't got backing, we don't have Sky Sports, we don't have funding from no one, we don't have, do you know what I mean, sponsors. We just got the support of the people, and the risk of if we put on a show and we lose money is
out of your own pocket.
It's out of our own pocket. Do you know what I mean? And I understand. Listen, I'm a very big fan of Dana White and his story. Do you know what I mean? And the debt that there was in, the money that he borrowed or investors that jumped in and then he was in debt, and then what changed it around. Yeah, we're in a very, we got opportunities, and we're at a time where everything. There's so much. We've got TikTok, we've got Snapchat, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got loads of ways to market things. So, we just trust the process. But there's big risk, big gamble. So when we're obviously I do research, and I see on Sky Sports there's a lot of boxers and that they get £500 a round. They get £1,000 a round, they get £1,500 a round, but they're getting averagely £500 to £1,000 a round.
Some even paying to even be on their own show.
Some are even paying to be on there, and they're on Sky Sports. Yeah. So their promoters, they're not paying them much. Do you know what I mean? And this is what we need to understand. Like, we need to educate people that when even people that fighting on Sunday smoke, some of them getting paid more money than people are fighting on Sky Sports.
Yeah, and more exposure.
And more exposure.
Like, no disrespect, but it's quite facts.
Yeah, it's not disrespect. We're getting listen, I'm not like there's not a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot of people. Most 90% of Sky Sports fights or Channel 5 fights, they ain't got 100,000 people at one time watching it.
Yeah.
And we can bring it up, but with us, so what we're building is we've built our own ecosystem with like the support of the people, and we're excited to see where it will go.
Yeah. So do you think there's a little kind of delusion to people thinking about doing one of these kind of pay-per-view fights, to think, if I'm involved in one, I'm going to become rich because there's millions being made or something like that? Do you think they actually don't realise it costs, like you said, £300,000 to put the event on, pay all the fighters, and that's even before tickets sold? Yeah. Like,
I feel like to the standard that we're trying to do, the production that you're going to see, like you will see a WickednBad event, or to the standard that you're going to want it to be seen so people actually buy into the brand, it's easy said than done. We have the TikTokers that I've seen. There's TikTokers that we know that there's a fight and they got so much exposure, but it's like, who's gonna
They
invest?
can't afford to.
They can't
invest.
afford to.
It's a big risk, isn't it?
It's a big risk.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, even though you might think that you're worth 50k, 20k, 100k, but it's like, okay, cool. Someone else will take you up and put that risk, but who's gonna do it? And then your opportunity can actually go in. You could have that hype for 2 months, and then people don't want to see it no more. So when we're reaching out to you or say, let's do this, and then people think their worth is more than it should be, because I spoke to Aaron from Geordie Shore, and he used to fight for Bellator, and he told me this because he goes to my gym. He's now a fighter for boxer, yeah. Okay. He's a professional fighter, and he said, when I had 2.5 million followers, he said Bellator gave me £12,000 for my first fight.
Okay.
You get me? So that's to give it a bit of content. Like that's what they gave him. You know what I mean? And that's what it is with fighters. Some if you come from the Olympics, you might get a purse of 50, 100k.
Yeah.
If you don't come from the Olympics and you're building up, but you don't have much following, you might get a purse of £500 per round, or you might have to pay. You might just get a percentage of your ticket sales.
Yeah, and this is what the public obviously doesn't realise, because they think someone does one of these fights, they should be receiving more money, but the real fact is because of what it costs.
Yeah,
it just won't make sense.
You'll receive more money if you go halves on the show or put on the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, put on the show, we put on the production, take 80% of the show.
Yeah.
I fund the show, we put on the production, we make it look amazing for you. We take 20%, you take 80%.
Yeah.
So you know it's your risk, but with people that's putting in all the risk, fighters, you're at the moment, you're a fighter for a platform, and you're but we can get a lot of other fighters. So that's what people need to understand. Just what we're doing on Sunday Smoke, where people that has 100 followers, they're jumping on Sunday Smoke, 11,000, 12,000 just from one night, and they're getting more known than 90% of the boxers that's in the UK. And no disrespect to boxers or any of them, because I know the graft that they put in, and do you know what I mean? And our role is more of the promoter role, and market is, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Going back to Wicked and Bad 2 kind of thing, how do you feel now it's over? Like, would there be anything you would have done different, or was you kind of happy how it all went?
Wicked and Bad 2, look, on the social media, sometimes you have to put on that bad guy act. So I understand posting money, and people, they didn't like that, do you know what I mean? And putting that bad guy act, they didn't really get it or didn't like that. But in order to sell fights, sometimes you have to, do you know what I mean? And sometimes with arms, is like before that, we was actually, like, it was good peoples, do you know what I mean? And now
there's been obviously videos in the past.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like, what's that? That's kind of put tension in, like, certain friendships. And do you know what I mean? We had a fight last time, a couple of weeks ago. I posted them, good luck, you get me? He's still harbouring some sort of feelings, which is...
So you think there is some sort of personal...
No, of course, because it just is what it is, isn't it? There's probably a lot of underlying issues, but with Sunday Smoke, like people that knew me with Wicked and Bad 2, they're like, I don't like my man, but now that I'm doing Sunday Smoke, and they're actually seeing my personality through Sunday Smoke, they're more warming to me and being like, actually, I didn't like him, but now I actually know this is Bounce or this is Miles. Like, I actually know I like his personality.
Sometimes that's how it is, isn't it? People see you online and then get to see you in the street, and they're like, oh, actually, you're different to how I thought you was online. Because there's always it's depending on what obviously angle you're giving off.
Yeah.
People won't know. But again, if you're saying you had to market the fight, showing the money, showing all these sort of things, then that's how it had to be. Do you know what I mean?
It had to be, and
someone's got to play that role. Otherwise, the fight's not going to sell.
And no one. This is what I always say to people. It's like, even when we do the face-to-faces, I don't know what's going to turn up, and it's not. None of it's staged. It's staged. Like, it's like what I send you is like we can't win with them. You will see something and be like, this is a dead face-to-face, and then something will pop off and you'll be like, this is staged. But then at the end of the day, it's like, guys, you want to see entertainment, right?
That's it at the end of the day. And I think also, talking about Sunday Smoke again, it is entertainment. So nobody really wants to see things where it's dry. You want to see people arguing. You want to see people pushing, pulling, and all that sort of stuff. That's the entertainment. People watch wrestling. They know it's not real, but they still watch it.
They still watch it.
That's not me saying obviously any of the Sunday Smoke's not real, but it's just saying like people like the entertainment, don't
people like the entertainment, and with obviously what we're gonna do for Wicked and Bad 3 and the build up and that. Listen, some of these guys that's fighting that actually don't like each other. So you just don't know where it's going to go when people's egos get in the way, because ego does get in the way and pride does get in the way. So how people react to things, hopefully we capture some exciting thing for Wicked and Bad 3, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be loads as well. But let's talk about the aftermath of Wicked and Bad 2. So the fight's finished.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got the win, congratulations. Yeah. However, there was a bit of backlash on Twitter, but how people may not know, but how did that personally make you feel?
Do you know what? With the internet look, I would have loved to. I wasn't happy with my performance, but I came there and I got the job done. You know what I mean? And it's easy said than done. Not a lot of people's going in the ring to fight arms. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of people's going in there to fight arms. So looking at it, it's easy said than done. But if you look at the pluses from it and what it's happened, and look at what we're doing now. So how it made me feel, I'm all right, but it's sometimes a lot of things can add up with we had a hard year. But and a lot of people won't see the vision when you see things. Only down the line they'll be like, oh, you've got something good going on. Or do you know what I mean? So the platform, the plus that I got from it, of now the platform is built, Wicked and Bad is built for not just influencers, but anyone to come fight on that platform and is known. And when we have a Wicked and Bad 3, 4, 5, 6, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. It's already ahead of the game. So there's people that's trying to catch up now. I'm seeing there's other brands, other event companies trying to do the same format.
Yeah.
But obviously Wicked and Bad's already ahead because it's already got 2 events ahead of people. But yeah, kind of wanted to also talk about like more of like the trolls. Like how do you personally deal with the trolling? Obviously from the Wicked and Bad 2 event, surely it must sort of affect you. I know some people say it doesn't affect me, but eventually it's gonna get you, right?
Do you know what? It depends, innit? It can affect you. Some things are like banter, innit? Like you can't take it as serious, but some people get so invested into like certain things, so it will affect me because I'm a people's person. I do things to create opportunity for the people. That's my whole brand. If you looked back where I've started from doing events from when I was in open prison to now, everything I've done is for the people and to help people. So if people can't see that, but when I clock, you need a bit of controversy because if someone speaks about something and there's all positive, then it's just no one don't really want to see that. People want to see like controversy and be like, do you know what? Nah. Yeah. Like this, that. So it's made me be the stronger. It made me be stronger. And listen, we're in a scene where I'm public now, innit? So anyone can have opinion against you, innit? You have to just
anyone can touch you now, innit? It's like the internet. You can go live. You could invite them on the live and A, B, C, D. They can type whatever they want. So it's a very accessible time, isn't it? But has it ever, even if it's not Wicked and Bad, has there ever been a time where the internet has got to you?
Yeah. The local man thing towards the end of the year. Do you know what I mean? A lot of things happened that year, so I thought I just needed a break to come off the internet.
You took a break off.
Yeah, I deactivated my socials.
But what got you to the point of being like, I need to take a break?
I felt just putting my body through that training, and then obviously I wasn't fully happy with the performance, but then dealing with trolls and then dealing with the whole marketing strategy with look man, not everything was said what was true. So dealing with people like you can see all the work that I've done for him and how I've changed his life, but you're still saying that like for example the 50% thing, get me, is like, well, I've never took a penny off of him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but people was making it out like you took 50% of local man every time he made money. No, I took nothing. So the fact that people it was so easy to believe something like that. My man come out, he's got a fight coming out, he got cancelled, it didn't. What do you know what I mean? But it's fine. Like that's what made it that's what pushed it to the limit, innit? And I feel like that's what made me come off socials and just plan behind the scenes and like now come back stronger.
Okay. So like you went away behind the scenes, and then obviously you spoke about the situation. Obviously, I know there's been other like radio interviews and stuff, but you also made a short film called Therapy, right?
Therapy.
So the idea behind Therapy, could you kind of like, how did it come about? Obviously, it was mainly because of the Liquor Man situation, but like how did you think, let's do that?
So Therapy came about as more like around the mental health side of things, more around, it's all right for you to go see a therapist if you're going through something. Do you know what I mean? Short film, it shows people getting in people's ear, trying to play. So when something's always going right, you always get that friend trying to get into your ear from the outside that don't get business and say X, Y, and Z, and then that's how business or friendship like relationship goes downhill just from that.
Yeah.
So my thing was never to target or attack Liquor Man, which I know that Therapy film didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? But just to show you that, guys, like you can see a therapist, look after your mental health.
Was this actually from your full point of view that you did see a therapist, or was it saying?
Yeah, I spoke to therapists.
You did? Okay,
I spoke to a few therapists. I'm in the process. Like I'm actively like, do you know what I mean? That's very important. Like going having therapy sessions, but it was just I just see it as this is what happens day to day. Like you can send anything on social media, and as soon as if you fit the shoe, this is what happens. Do you know what I mean? So, but I thank God. I'm like I've had up and down, so I've kind of like made it out of that low point. And
so you're on the up now. Definitely.
I'm on the up now, and I feel like maybe people that's not part of God. A lot of my content that I used to do was for the culture or for a certain audience.
Yeah.
And then when I got back onto social media, obviously me and you started working regular. I started doing content that's not for that sort of culture, and that's more for the other audience. And they're more appreciate what we're doing, and the fact that obviously opportunities are getting made from nothing. People can see what we're doing, innit?
Do you think, like, as you said, you went to the therapy and stuff like that, and it did hit you at one point. Do you think people won't understand that because you're seen as bouncer, kind of strong face, like bad guy kind of image? Do you think because of the internet and how things are portrayed, people wouldn't take that to you, like as in like, actually bouncer would feel down about this situation? People ain't thinking when they're typing their opinions on some accusations that's been made. Do you think because of your character, people didn't kind of warm to it?
No, they don't care, but I fit the shoe in it, so they just think they don't know that people with people with following we're the same, we're all the same, we're human beings, so they might think, bouncer can deal with everything. Do you know what I mean? But people, remember, see our people as well. They don't want like they will support you to a certain time. You know what I mean? And then they will try to tear you down. So that's just how it is, isn't it? So you just have to, with experience, do you know what I mean? You understand these things, innit? And you just have to like protect yourself, innit? Protect your energy.
No, 100%. And I think, especially in this day and age now, I've noticed that regardless of what a situation is, there's always a team A and a team B. So regardless of what team A says about team B, there's going to be people that believe team A, people that believe team B, even if team A was completely wrong and they done the wrongest things. I've noticed there's always going to be people on that side. Do you think that's because people like drama and there's people like, you know what, I want more drama, so I'm going to support this person? Do you think that's how...
Negativity, innit? If you remember, look, one thing that I did say, this is what I was speaking to one of the brothers, I was speaking to H. Boxing, and he did say to me, he's like, look, like with any religion, you get me, with Jesus, Prophet Isa, with the prophets, people's always had to say stories about them to tear them down. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's always been like rumors or bad rumors and stories to tear these people down. And it's always the people that are actually got the best intentions that always get painted to be
Bad person.
bad
yeah.
person. But
Yeah.
you just got to let your actions show, and then you have to look like people will see. Soon people will see what, you get me? Because it's a sad thing. They'll wait for people to pass, and then they will be like, this guy done so much.
That's
but
it, yeah,
we need
yeah.
to actually do this now and just be behind us. But what we've got happening now is this is what's happening. The actions of people are the support, and this is what we appreciate.
So going back to Wicked and Bad, what is the future plans for Wicked and Bad? I know you said about there's obviously Wicked and Bad 3 coming up.
Yeah.
Let's actually start there. What is the plan for that? Who is on it? How many cards? How is it kind of going to be planning out?
So at the moment, we've got about 3 to 4 cards. So we've got is the Freezy and Jonathan,
Yeah.
GSP.
That's the main,
Freezy,
right?
the main event. And then obviously we've got Big Tobes fighting,
Yeah.
Ash, we've got Lippy. So we've got a few other, we haven't fully announced the lineup,
Yeah.
which we're in the process of doing. And then obviously I'm in the process of making the Contender Series. So if we film everything in time and we put it into that, that's gonna make sense. But we've got Tommy first and Pulley. So
Yeah,
I feel
from
like
the
that's
Sunday
good
Smoke
it's
community.
from the Sunday Smoke, and I feel it's a good incentive to let people know, like, listen, if you work hard, you're on Sunday Smoke,
Shows
and you could.
there's a progression.
There's a
stage,
progression. There's a progression, and there's a build up. So we're going to be doing it in our hometown, Crystal Palace. So it's open to the public. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to start going announcing ticket sales, etc.
E and GSP is the main card for Wicked and Bad 3.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Freezy first. Does he live up to the hype? Because obviously I see him all over Facebook, Lad Bible, all this thing, in the papers. UK's Mike Tyson. Is Freezy what they're painting him to be?
Do you know what? I've seen Freezy's clips.
Yes.
And he hasn't fought for over 2 years now. So I think it's exciting to see what.
So all his clips before are from 2 years ago.
No, yeah, his fighting clips is from 2 years ago. It's literally, he hasn't actually had another amateur fight within 2 years, I think, because of COVID and whatever's come from it. So I'm excited to see Freezy. I know about Jonathan. I've known him from a long time, for a very long time. So Jonathan's coming down in weight, Freezy's coming up in weight. So it will be good to see, obviously, Freezy's style, Jonathan's accuracy. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be good to see it.
So my first time I saw Freezy was ironically on Dillian White's thing, Smoke Sunday, which we might as well talk about, because obviously I saw like it was like a bit of a shot. Obviously I got loads of love for Dillian. I'm a big fan of him, but obviously I see him, he reposted a thing saying they was the ones blah 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 to do Smoke Sunday.
Yeah.
Ironically ours is called Sunday Smoke. But just for the people to know, like, this wasn't
intentional. We could have named it flipping Ground and Pound or Jackson. They would have still done the exact same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So and also it's two different concepts. One's live, one's
on YouTube.
On YouTube. So
I've spoken to Dillian White and obviously his coach. So we spoke. Do you know what I mean? Big them up. They do you know what I mean? They done it on YouTube.
Yeah, which was obviously
they said
a few
that they
years
named
ago.
it Sunday Smoke Sunday. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like, maybe I think it was more the recognition, like these lot done it from there. I don't know. I don't understand why it got put on the story, but
that's what I was confused. I thought if it's an actual issue, then just a little message. But for the record, so the people know there was no intention or any names in, because it doesn't even need to do that. And even if we want to backtrack, you lot can check my YouTube. I've got something on there called Back Part Boxing. So do you know what I mean? That's what we said. Oh, this boxing thing's been going on for 10 years ago. So it's not. There wasn't any name. Just so people
I don't
know
think
there
that
wasn't a
it
name
was
thing like that.
done in. I don't know. I don't know how it was done, but it's spoken respect Dillian White. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Respect them.
mad respect.
So it's like it's cool. It's been dealt with. Also, it's like what I clock with people as well. This is nothing to do with Dillian White. It's like you see people on TikTok and that everyone always waits for something well to start going, and they try to find a trick in the armor to somehow tear it down. This is. Do you know what I mean? So
instead of them saying, "Oh, actually, this is good," they're creating a platform for people. They're actually settling problems when there is a problem. Like,
do you know what I mean? They always try to find. It's a jealousy thing, and it's like they always try to. But our thing is like we don't. Let's not get tricked out of our position of what the purpose is, what we're trying to do, because we've got to name something that a fight, Insta Live that we have on Sundays. We can name it anything. And if we turn around and named it something just for banter now, kicks Sunday, everyone will go with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, anything like we name it. But I feel that it's not big up Dillian. You get me? Big up what he's done for the boxing world. We're not professional promoters or trying to be professional promoters.
Never.
We're coming with a new thing. We're coming with something new, and we have hundreds of thousands of people behind us that's with us, ready to support. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we can turn around a fight and marketing within 24 hours if needs be, but it takes us 3 days to turn around marketing a fight where we have hundreds of thousands of people plus watching, and they don't even know who these people are. After the fight, they know who these people are. That's amazing.
Exactly that. It's a complete different concept and everything like that. But as soon as we're talking about Dillian White versus Tyson Fury, or however it's billed, Tyson Fury versus Dillian White, who are you saying wins that fight?
Do you know what? Tyson Fury is. I've always said he's the best heavyweight in the world. Do you know what I mean? But it can go either way, innit?
Just go again. Just say Tyson Fury. Go.
Tyson Fury, just because of the.
Tyson Fury. I've always said that is the best heavyweight in the world now. So, but it can go either way. Dillian White.
Heavyweight boxing,
Dillian White is a brother. So I would always, like, he's from South. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, we have mutual friends. So I would want Dillian White to win, but Tyson Fury, I've always said that he's at the moment currently, I would say he's the best heavyweight in the world.
Okay. And just quickly, let's talk about the Contender Series. For those that don't know what it is, what is the idea behind this?
The idea behind it is to build a roster, a WickednBad roster, to scout fights, to build up a reality YouTube TV show, and to create opportunities. Do you know what I mean? And to actually have dope fighters and fighting on the WickedBad, because down the line we want to focus that platform for amateurs. We want to be the best, the biggest amateur platform in the world. We want nothing to do with the pro fighters. We want to cover all the white collar and amateurs and the show. We want to pay you more. We want to, do you know what I mean? We want the world to see you. We have the audience already. So it's just about building that up.
Okay, and so when you say reality TV, what do you mean? So it's just like a Love Island-y, Big Brother kind of?
No, it's like an Ultimate Fighter. So we big up UFC Ultimate Fighter because the blueprint is from them. So having to do a UK version, because I know there's nothing in the UK that's doing that at the moment. And we start from season 1, the pilot season 2, and how far it goes until when we're in the mansion and everyone's living in the mansion. So we're talking
about introductions, then challenges. Obviously, they're showing their story.
Whoever wins or loses, they have to fight each other on the Contender Series, and the finalists get to fight under the WickednBad.
In May
or September or December.
Okay, that's refreshing. It's different, isn't it? Like, it's different for people to kind of. I think it will make people like the fighters more. Do you know what I mean? They kind of build a relation with the fighters to be like, I'm team this person. Instead, normally you see the game face, innit? Like you say, how you had to market the arms fight. You had to just have straight game face, but we didn't actually see no emotional side of bouncer. Like when the training's actually hard, you're feeling down, you got to deal with all this stuff.
Injuries.
This is where the injuries. This is where we'll get to see a bit more in depth of the fighters. I'm guessing,
yeah, that's what you'll get to see, and I'm excited to see that. So yeah, we're excited for that.
Okay, cool. So future for Wicked and Bad, it doesn't just stop as an unlicensed. It's gonna kind of cater in with the amateur boxers as
The
well.
amateur boxers, do you know what I mean? And literally, he's gonna cater in with Sunday Smokes, whoever we see on Sunday Smokes. The fact that they know that they can build themselves up to actually fight on a platform like what Tommy and Pulley's doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We wanna give. We don't. There's no criteria with us. Is if you have a personality and you're willing to train and learn to box and it makes sense, jump on Sunday Smoke or jump on Wicked and Bad, and we'll pick to see what the people. It's down to the people, innit?
That's definitely. And for those that keep asking, oh, how do we get on Sunday Smoke? Do your call out videos or find your opponent that both agrees. What we definitely don't want to do is kind of do a thing where we jump on somebody's side and we're kind of almost trying to push this other person into fighting. That's definitely something we don't want to do. Like no peer pressure into
no
people
peer
fighting.
pressure.
We want both fighters to be agreed, then it can be entertained. But you know, there's some people that will come on and say, there's this person that I want to call out. And we're
do your work. Do your
Yeah.
work for it to be noticed. And let's talk a little bit about Sunday Smoke, because for us to notice it, I know you're similar, Tyrone. When Nish called out Cheyenne, how did you notice? You noticed from the video, right?
Yeah,
And we made it happen.
Yeah.
So people will message in our DMs and said, I want to fight Nish, I want to fight Cheyenne, but you don't make no videos. When the other girl called out Nish and Cheyenne, how did we notice? We noticed from the videos.
That's
you know what I mean? So call each other out. We'll be watching, and if it makes sense, we'll be contacting you.
100%. Is there anything else you kind of want to cover, like within?
Just literally, obviously, we've got the energy drink. We've got Wicked and Bad energy. We've got Wicked and Bad podcasts that we're doing.
Let's quickly actually. Then, what is the future for Wicked and Bad energy drinks? Because I've seen it's been at festivals, it's in shops.
So it'll be
on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. So go to Amazon, download the energy drink. Is at festivals. We want to get it in more in the sports world. So I'm in talks with like a few athletes and getting them sponsor the athletes. And it's building the brand, innit? In time, this is a business that is going to take 5, 10, 15 years to build, but slowly it will build. It's just like the clothing brand. We haven't gone live with the clothes yet. We're just trying to build the brand, build the brand, and then eventually turn it into the sportswear clothing brand, boxing gloves, etc., and make it like a sports brand. You get me? So
So you may see like Wicked and Bad, different flavors,
sugar free. You know what I mean? So it goes all with the campaign. So as the business grows, you will start seeing Wicked and Bad sponsoring a lot of other things, because that's what we want to do. As soon as we make profits or we make a certain amount of money, we want to take that money out, we want to inject it into a project, or we want to, do you know what I mean? And we do want to we want to put Wicked and Bad with, like, we want to put Wicked and Bad with put down the knives, put the knives down, charities, how much money is raised for charity. So everything within time.
And it's starting to connect up, because we keep referring back to Sunday Smoke, but Tyrone actually came along to one of them, didn't he? And he's a big put the knives down. Like
advocate.
That's the right word, advocate. And he likes what it's doing, and things are starting to kind of connect in different ways now, aren't it? So that's it. Is there anything else, Jack?
No, nothing else, man. Just expect to see more.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you lot for tuning into the Wicked and Bad podcast. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Well.